Okay, so this is an introductory tutorial for WireShark. I'm assuming you've already downloaded, installed it, and opened it up. And I'm just going to go over a couple things just to kind of get you going. This is not intended to be a comprehensive tutorial. So first of all, I want to point out, here you can see what connections we have to the network. So right now I'm on Wi-Fi. You can tell that by right here. If I was plugged in, I'd probably have this Ethernet connection showing some activity. But right now, I just have the Wi-Fi activity showing movement and packets. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to capture some packets from my network. I'm going to go to a web page. I'm going to go to a couple web pages and capture some of those packets. And then we're going to kind of take a look at them and see what they look like. So I'm going to resize. So I have WireShark on half my screen and the internet on the other. And I'm going to type in stxavier.org, but I'm not going to hit enter yet. I'm just going to get it ready. So down here in WireShark, I'm going to start capturing it by hitting this blue WireShark button. And when I do, you can see immediately packets are being captured. Now I'm going to come over to Google and just hit enter. And when I hit enter, the CNX website comes up. Now I'm going to go someplace else. I'm going to go to Cincinnati.com. Cincinnati.com. I'm going to hit that. And now I've gone to a couple websites. Then I'm going to come over to WireShark and stop capturing by hitting the red stop button. Go ahead and maximize WireShark again. So we can first of all look down here in the corner. You can see in that short amount of time, I collected or captured over 12,000 packets. And here they are right here. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. And you can see from the list the source IP address and the destination IP address. So our first question is, gee, which one is my computer? Well, we have to kind of look to see what our IP address is. So I'm going to go to the command prompt. And I'm going to type in ipconfig, CONFIG, and hit enter. Then when I come down here, we can see that my IP address is 192.168.7.184. My default gateway, which is my router that leads out to the internet, that is 192.168.7.1. So you can see the first three octets are the same because we're in the same network. Little side note here, your router in any network typically ends in a 1, right? The first IP address is saved for the default gateway. So now when we look at our IP addresses, 192.168.7.94, we know that this is my laptop, my IP address. And it sent a packet to this IP address using TCP. If we go down to the second set of second middle kind of section here, when you have selected an IP address, this kind of breaks it up. I'm going to close this for a second, into different levels of the TCP IP model. So if we're talking about frames, we know that that's from layer 2, right? The networking interface MAC layer. Internet protocol, that is a packet, and that's from the internet layer on layer 3. The transmission TCP protocol, that is a segment from layer 4, the transport layer. And then in this third segment down here, this is the binary. That's the physical layer. This is the bits and bytes that make up the message or the packet. So let's real quick look at the internet protocol layer. And here's some more details. If I scroll down, here's my source address, and that is my IP address. And when I click on it, you can see down below, it highlights what that number is in binary. And if we look at the third octet here, 1, 2, 3, the third octet is 7. If we come down here and look at the third octet, and we know our binary groupings, that's a 4, a 2, and a 1. Well, 4 plus 2 or 1 is 7. So this number here is this number 7 here in the source code. And there's the destination. If I click on destination, there's the destination IP address in binary. So by clicking up here, it shows you what it looks like in binary below. We've got that. We can go to the frames, and we can kind of look through. And again, you'll just have to play around, and it's hard to kind of go into too much detail without taking too much time. A lot of this is just, you're just going to have to play around and look at it, right? But, here is the capture length. This packet is 54 bytes long, which translates to 432 bits. Here's the time that I captured the packet, or the packet was sent right there. So it gives you all kinds of information. Down here, TCP protocol. So TCP, this is packet number 3805, right? So this gives you the sequence number, acknowledgement number, all kinds of information. Checksum is kind of verifying that there are no errors involved, and it gives you all kinds of information. So let's see, what we want you to do is kind of play around with this, capture some packets. Oh, and I'll show you one more thing. If you want to say, look for like the get. When I went to the web page, right, it had to do, it said a get command. So if I type in HTTP up here in the search bar, it comes up with the command http.request.method get. I select it and hit enter, right? Nothing came up. I'm not sure why that is. Gotta look around with that. But you can use different filters up here to kind of sift through all of these 12,000 packets and look for certain information. Also, I mentioned each color has a certain meaning too. And typically red and black means there could be an issue. It doesn't necessarily mean there's an issue. But there's some red, there's some over here. You can see red, and then also if I scroll down, here's black. So that kind of tells you there's some issues here. So the colors mean things too. So play around with this a little bit, and we'll have some other tutorials for you to look at and use to kind of get to know WireShark better.